There. Psh. You gotta be kidding me. Deep, deep, deep within the settings of this stupid OBS software. I never turned this mic off. I showed you the freaking red light's on, man. That means I'm on. So, yeah, don't know. Yeah, my bad. My bad. God, that was 15 minutes of wasted commentary. What a joke. This is why I don't need to be doing this stuff. I'm just an idiot. Oh, man. I don't know that I can even cover all that crap again. That was totally off the cuff. All right. Well, what time is it? And that was my second time going live. The first time I had the mic button turned off. So, yeah, all right. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can rewind that. Here's the deal. Here's the summary. And nobody's even going to want to tune back into this in the future because they're going to start watching it and go, oh, he's not talking. I don't want to watch this. Anyway, yeah, summary. So if you're looking for a Mother's Day or Father's Day idea, this is the film that I printed out. Each one of those little boxes is my kids holding up a piece of paper. It says, Happy Mother's Day. This was a slumber party I had with my kids back in 2008 at a hospital I used to work at. My wife has it clipped up on her board back there, but just some fun stuff you can do with X-ray film. That's all that was. And then, Mr. Allen, I'm glad you're having fun, buddy. My whole reason for logging on was Anthony. You see it up here on the screen, hopefully. Was asking about long wait times, and what I was going on and on about was if your schools have a long wait time, you might want to check out the jobs too, because if there's too many people trying to get into the schools, then there's too many people applying for the jobs, which led me to say you need to look around and maybe move. And I went into a big long diatribe about how people don't want to move, either because they live at home with their parents, or they live with where they grew up, or they have kids that like the school they go to and they don't want to move, or whatever. You have to consider, and this goes all the way up if you want into management. I've told so many supervisors and lead techs that want to get into management, you have to be ready to move. You have to be willing to move if you want to go up the ladder, because, think about, for those of you that are techs, how many managers do you have in your department? 1, 2, you got one director if you're lucky. That's all there's room for. So if you have aspirations to get up that ladder, you have to consider moving to other places. And same thing, it goes all the way back to being a student. Like Tony here is saying, there's a 5-year wait at my local school. Man, you cannot wait 5 years. For one thing, you've already waited. It says in 2016 is when you heard about it, and that was 5 years ago. So I've already gone over all my videos. I've done a video of private versus public. That's what you saw earlier. In my opinion, it's worth paying more for private because you get in and out quicker. You get to making the good money quicker, and your ROI, your return on investment, shows up a lot sooner. Darnell changed your name, huh? I'm glad you're liking school, man. We'll have to get you on a video, get you a microphone so you can tell everybody all about it. So Tony here is asking about the wait, and you've got to be willing to think outside the box. You think about, when you graduate high school and you talk about going to college, if you can, you stay at home and you go to the local college and you save money by living at home. But a lot of people move into the dorms or the college apartments or just get out and get their own place. That's what I did. And you have a much broader experience in life having your own place. And you really got to consider that for X-ray school. If your local school has a 5-year wait, start checking around. And that's when I got into that other article about the best states to work in, where I compare how much you actually get to keep in your pocket versus how much they take out. So I ranked all 50 states. There's a ranking for cost of living that I used, and I plugged it all into Wolfram Alpha to come up with some data for you. Gave it a ratio. Here's everybody's hourly. Now this is 2019. But there's everybody's hourly, and these were people that reported into the ARRT's annual survey, right? People get in and go, well, Minnesota, I work in Minnesota, and I don't make $28.74. Well, these are the people that just replied to the survey. They may have been big city people making big money. They may have been small town people making small money. Could have been a hospital, could have been a clinic, could have been a doctor's office. But this is a good article to kind of show you what everybody's making, but it also shows you how much you're not taking home. So we're focused on Anthony here and his question about his 5-year waiting list. You want to go somewhere where you're going to be able to get a job, or let's say you move to Texas to go to X-ray school and then you come back home to Sheboygan to get a job. That's okay too. Here in the southern Idaho, I got one X-ray school, pumps out around 12 kids every couple of years. And I think at least half of them go somewhere else when they graduate, because when I used to run the local hospital here for about 5 years, I would only pick up 2 or 3 out of the entire class, every graduating class. But I also had to share, some went to some other hospitals around the state. And Allison just got into the program in the greater Atlanta area. How many people applied and how many got in, Allison? Do you remember? Tell us that in the comments. So when I applied, I actually applied to go to phlebotomy school and got accepted at Pima Medical Institute, but it was the same entrance exam to go to X-ray school. And Pima said, "Are you sure you want to do phlebotomy? Are you sure you wouldn't rather do X-ray?" And I'm like, "No, I got to finish my bachelor's degree. That's how I'm going to make a living." Because I was told, like many of us, go get your bachelor's and all will be right in the world. And boy, was that wrong. So I went and got my bachelor's and was a phlebotomist for about 10 years, and then decided to go back for X-ray school. So much like Tony, I wish I hadn't waited. I wish I'd gotten into X-ray 10 years earlier and could have been making money that much faster. But I started X-ray school in my late 20s, and then went, as soon as I got out of X-ray school, I went back into ultrasound school. That was another 2 years. And so currently on my second month in a 16-month private program. 16 months, that's quick. That's awesome. That's Angel, 16-month program. Good for you. Most of them are 2 years, and it drags. There's nothing worse, right? I remember being a student and thinking, I am freaking paying to work. I am paying somebody else to work. Where else in America does this happen where you pay to work? And take crap from the other techs and take crap from radiologists, right? You go do the BE, doc. Get off your butt for a change. But whatever, you get through it, and you come out making fat cash and move up the ladder. Good deal, Allison. Glad it's been helpful. 100 or more applied and 24 got accepted. So 1 in 5. You got a 20% chance of getting in. So all this is just to tell Tony here, Tony Fonseca, in my comment section. He commented on the RN versus X-ray video that I did, because I get that question a lot. And I'm just telling him, some schools are better than others, so it's harder to get in, right? That makes sense. But there's also some schools that are highly populated areas. And who's got the time to sit around and wait to get accepted? And that's why you're seeing more and more private schools pop up, and they're trying to take a lot of them online. And don't kid yourself, you're still going to have to do clinicals in person. There is no fully online X-ray school, and I see that question all the time. Where can I go online to do X-ray? You're still going to have to go put your hands on the patient and learn how to take X-rays. Starting at 42. Good job, Alice. Hey, I'm 50, and I'm still working on my doctorate. I finally made it to my doctorate program. I actually graduate next month, July 30th. I will be Dr. Ron Jones. How cool is that? Lifelong goal. Finally going to get there. Took the long way, right? X-ray school, ultrasound school, bachelors, masters. Anybody interested, shoot me an email or leave a comment or whatever. I'll tell you the easiest way to go if you want to climb that ladder. The MSRS at, that's right, Dr. Jones. You call him Dr. Jones. I used to have a director of radiology a long time ago. He used to walk around quoting Indiana Jones all the time. You call him Dr. Jones. And Scott missed that guy. He ended up with throat cancer. We lost him, but he was an awesome MRI tech. What's my point? Well, my point to Tony, and it's really to all of you, find what you want to do and just do it. Don't take any excuses, whether it's too long of a waiting list, or I've got kids, or I've got bills, or I've got 6 kids, I've got 6 daughters and a wife. I've always had a mortgage. I've always had cars. I've always had things I got to pay for. But yet I went to Xray school at, I think I was 27. Then I went to ultrasound school. I got my bachelor's before Xray school. And then I went back for my master's at Weber State, got my MSRS. Now I'm getting my doctorate at Nebraska Methodist. So don't listen to the people that say you can't, or like, I can't tell you how many people told me, why are you getting a doctorate? It's not gonna earn you any more money. Well, I don't care if it's gonna earn me any money. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's a personal goal of mine. I want to set that bar high for my kids. I want to be Dr. Jones. So sweating with one. Well, I made the mistake of going, what's one more? Huh? But my wife, actually, if you watched our videos, there she is over there on the screen. She's an X-ray tech too. She's been X-ray tech for about 10 years. So the plan is that at some point, if we ever get the kids out of the house, our plan was to be traveling techs together. We thought that'd be really cool. Travel to the beaches and the border towns, and just travel around in our camper and take temp jobs. If you ever want to talk about travel assignments, give me a holler. Got some really good friends that run some travel agencies. You can go for short little 4-week gigs or 6-month gigs. You can go all over the country. There's gigs in Hawaii. There's you want to have some fun, and those guys pay more than your average job. You get a food stipend, like $40 a day. You get a housing stipend. So if you have your own RV or camper, they'll actually pay as if you were renting a hotel room, but you can stay in your own camper and pocket that living expense. You can write everything off. It'd be a blast. So any questions in there? Let me see. Hey, what opportunities are out there for second radiography who wants to study an MBA? What opportunities are there for a second radiographer who wants to study? I'm not quite sure what you mean, Peter. I didn't go business administration. I stayed radiologic science because it was easier for me to bounce. I got my bachelor in science in psychology from Arizona State. And that just came down to, I went to my counselor one day and said, what am I closest to? Get me out of here. I joined the Sigma Chi fraternity, and I think I lost about 2 years somewhere. And next thing I knew, all my friends were gone. That's a giveaway. This guy's been harassing me for a giveaway for months. Anyway, all my friends were graduated. And I said, hey, man, what am I closest to? And they said, you're closest to a psychology degree. And I'm like, sign me up. That's what I'll get. So my Bachelor of Science ended up turning into a psychology degree, but that got me in extra points getting into X-ray school, because some schools give you points for being a veteran or being over a certain age or having college courses. And so that bachelor's degree gave me some points. I got in first round in my X-ray program. And then from there, took the ultrasound school at Gateway Community College, which taught me general and vascular. And then the master's program at Weber State, all you got to have is an active ARRT license and a bachelor's degree. So anybody with these online bachelors for rad techs, any of that kind of stuff, go get your master's at Weber State. It's all online. You are supposed to go there Thursday and Friday, I think twice a semester. And they just pound you from like 8 to 5 with lectures Thursday and Friday. And then you do all your homework online. So that's 2 years to get your master's. I think it was like 16 grand is all it costs to get a master's there. So check out the MSRS program at Weber State. Told Bob Walker I sent you. Bob's the head of the program. Robert Walker, he's only been there like 37 years. I think Diana Kawamura, I think she finally retired. She was second in command for a long time, but go get your MSRS. Then if you want to get crazy and get my EDD, the doctorate is actually in education and healthcare leadership. So I can continue up the corporate ladder if I want to. I already made it to system director level, where I'm over every radiology department in the state. But you can take that doctorate in healthcare leadership and ride it all the way to CEO. It depends on how far you want to go. But that's if you like, if you like it. Some people, like my wife, she's like, I don't want to go to school anymore. Please don't ask me to ever go to school. So I'm like, come on, don't you want to go to ultrasound school? Let's make some more money. She's like, nope. So it's not for everybody. I get it. My younger son will graduate high school when I graduate college. Hey, that's cool. Tyler, after I get my AS in radiologic technology, how can I transition to becoming a radiation therapist? Just apply. So I got a whole article on that. You guys that couldn't read my ellipse when I had my stupid microphone turned off. Let's see if it's under ARRT. You can go to my blog, the radiologictechnologist.com, and just use the search bar and plug in whatever it is you're looking for. I've got articles on everything. How to pass your exam. Somewhere in here, let's try therapist. How about therapy? Yeah, let's try therapist. Radiation therapist. Radiation therapy. Let's see. How to become a radiation therapist. Plus video. Now with vitamin C. So here's the whole, this is a big heavy duty article, right? I interviewed some rad therapists. I said, what do you think? How did you do it? Where did you go? I did a little video on it. So, Tyler, you need to read that article. But basically, what I would do if I were you, if you're working in a hospital already that has a rad therapy department, I would just start hanging out with those guys. Maybe have lunch with them, whatever. You might not be able to hang out in the department because of HIPAA and all that garbage, but get to know those guys. Ask them what they think about their career. Ask for a shadow day. Ask if you can shadow on a day off. You get to know them and the radiation oncologists. Talk to those guys. They're cool. Ask them what they think, and more specifically, what do you think about the job future? Because one thing you have to recognize when it comes to rad therapy is you don't need a whole lot of them, right? Where you go into a hospital, 220 bed hospital, you're going to have probably 50 X-ray techs or so. Maybe half of them are PRN or part-time or whatever, but you're going to have a lot. Then you're going to go right down the hall to the radiation oncology department, the radiation therapy, and you're going to have like 3 techs, 5 techs. That's it. Because you don't need a whole lot. It's kind of like nuclear medicine. You just don't need a whole lot of those guys. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about radiation therapy. I'm not trying to discourage you. It's a great career, great money, saving lives every day for sure. But the jobs may be hard to come by. But that's up to how hard you're going to go after it too, right? That's how it always works out. So, yeah, in Canada, it's totally separate undergrad program. Yeah, so sorry about the beginning. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. All I was doing was telling Tony here about, don't be afraid to move around for school. Don't be afraid to move around for jobs. I've told many supervisors and lead techs over my career that if you really want to become a manager or supervisor or even director, you're probably going to have to move. And you really, I used to kind of, I don't know how to say it. I wasn't impressed by techs who jumped around. I wasn't impressed by nurses who jumped around. I was this idiot who said to be loyal. You got to be loyal to your hospital, right? And I can't tell you the huge disappointment I've experienced in my career being loyal to hospitals only to get crapped on after sacrificing so much. They could care less. I'm telling you now. Don't even think about being loyal to any hospital. They do not care. And the more time goes by, and the veteran techs can tell you, they just don't care. It's all about the dollar. It's not about the patient anymore. You'll see it if you look close enough. You'll see what they're doing. They're skeleton crewing you, bare minimum staff, double stacking on the schedule. It's just not what it used to be. But where was I going with that? I guess so be willing to move around. That's what it was. Be willing to take on 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away, maybe even an hour away, or just move altogether. But tie it in with that article that I wrote about who pays you the most and let you keep it in your pocket. And that's how you can get the biggest bang for your buck. I'm just going to pop in, let's see, did I have any other... You guys should know about the Facebook group too by now, but just in case you don't, let's just pop in there and let me show you. How do you even get in there now? Where are we at? This one. This is us. I just put a Ready Player One banner at the top the other day, just playing around. This is the Radiologic Technologist. 3,300 people in there. Anything you want to know, it's probably been asked in this group. Use this little search icon up here. See if your question has already been asked. If not, post it. Here's somebody that asked a question about PA lateral decubitus, and they got 10 answers. Right? Hello, quick question. Let's see. Why this is PA and not AP? Isn't the IR at the anterior part of his body? So, well, I'm not sure how they got that confused. But obviously it's on the posterior part of the back. So it's going P to A. No judging, right? This may be a brand new student. Maybe they've never worked in healthcare. Nobody's laughing in here. Nobody's saying get lost. They're all saying, hey, here's what it is. They're named in part of relationship to the IR. So that's what I love about this group. I started this group a little over 2 years ago, just like my blog. The whole point of it was to start sharing knowledge. I didn't feel like there was anywhere we could go to ask questions, especially us techs, like on the night shift. Something goes screwy with the CT machine or something. You got nobody to call. You can hop on here now, ask a question at 2 a.m. and get 5 people from all over the country answering your question. Let me scroll down on the comment section here. Let's see. I don't let any ads in here. I don't want people advertising their junk. That's not what this is for. So if you see any of that, just hit the flag and I'll remove it. But I do let rad techs advertise. So if you make your own markers, your own t-shirts, your own hats, your own mask, whatever, you're welcome to advertise. I highly recommend. That's a whole nother video. I highly recommend that you rad techs have a secondary form of income lined up, working for yourself somehow. YouTube channels, I've been really helping promote some other people's YouTube channels, some rad techs in the YouTube channels, because as we saw through COVID, they were sending a lot of techs home and saying you got to use your own PTO if you want to get paid. As crappy as that was, there were hospitals all over the country doing that. So figure out how you can make money on the side. I'll show you real quick over here. Sydney Lira has a YouTube channel. I highly promote Sydney. She's doing a great job sharing how she studies for her Xray finals, how she gets scholarships. You should check out her channel. Jonathan Rivera has a channel. Your Xray Tech has a channel. Julia Christine does some here and there. Tracy kind of backed off. He's doing health and fitness now. MRI Man, you got to go check him out. He's doing a great job, constantly uploading. Kelly Grace does some stuff. Xray. Haven't seen him much lately, but he's got some really good stuff in there. You got to check him out. But my point is, always have a side gig, a side hustle, as they started saying a few years ago, because you never know when something's going to go south in the healthcare biz. But don't forget this Facebook group. Check it out. Ask questions, post questions, keep the HIPAA out of it. I also let headhunters post jobs, so that way you can see what jobs are open around the country. This one's in Queens, New York, Redondo Beach. That's what I'm talking about. Fort Lauderdale, $7,500 sign-on bonus. Now's the time. If you're not tied down, and there's not very many of you that are that way, but if you're not tied down and you want to do some traveling, now's the time to do some traveling. What time is it? 7 o'clock? Well, that's about it. I always like to get on when I can, answer some questions. Remind you that the Facebook group out here, in fact, I think I can grab that and post it over here so you can get to it. There's that. Here's the blog. Go there and check that out. And from the sounds of it, my Culver's hamburger and onion rings are pulling up. So I am going to go. Remember, if you have any questions and you want me to answer them, leave them here in the comments section. Send me an email. Post them on the Facebook group, whatever you want to do. Happy to help you guys. Keep your heads up. Stay strong. And you're doing God's work. Peace out.